Good morning, my dear students. Hope you all are fine. Today, we will learn about a very interesting aspect of English language. We will learn about the use of figures of speech. In Hindi language as well, we have figures of speech which is known as alankar. The word alankar means to decorate. So, in order to decorate our English written and spoken language, we use figures of speech. A figure of speech is a word or a phrase which is used to make our speech or written work more effective and understandable. Like last year, we studied idioms. So, a figure of speech is a method by which we communicate in a figurative manner. Figurative is the opposite of literal or the real meaning. We can use comparisons between things to make the meaning clear. Today, we will deal with the following figures of speech: simile, metaphor, personification, onomatopoeia, rhyme scheme, imagery, hyperbole, oxymoron, refrain, repetition, and alliteration. So let's start with simile. The word simile means which shows similarity, a comparison between two unlike things, but it uses the words like or as. Examples: as wise as an owl, as blind as a bat. He fought like a lion on the battlefield. The next one is metaphor. A metaphor also makes a comparison between two things, like in simile, but it calls the one as the other. So, in that way, it is different from a simile. If we take the same example, he fought like a lion on the battlefield becomes a simile because of the word like. And he was a lion on the battlefield is a metaphor because he was not like a lion but a lion on the battlefield. Okay? The next is personification. It means to personify non living things or ideas, means giving human qualities to non living things. For example, the stars twinkled, the thunder grumbled, the leaves clapped. Stars cannot twinkle, but we have used personification. We have personified the stars. Thunder grumbled means it was very noisy, and leaves clapped maybe made sound due to the wind, but we have used the word clapped. So we have personified the actions of the leaves. Next is onomatopoeia. It's very interesting. It's just a word that is the sound itself. Example: the buzzing of the bees, the tinkling of the bells, the hissing of snakes. Okay. Next is the rhyme scheme. It's a pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem or song. Each rhyme is denoted by an English alphabet. Like example: twinkle, twinkle, little star, A. How I wonder what you are. Star and R are similar, so they both get A. Up above the world so high. Then B. Like a diamond in the sky. Sky and high are same, so B. So the rhyme scheme becomes AA, BB. The next is imagery. Anything that helps us to imagine while we are reading any written work. Maybe it's a poetry or a diary entry or a story. These are the words that help us to imagine what the writer or speaker wants to convey. They help us to feel, see, hear, taste, smell in our imagination and awakens our senses. Like last year, we had read the poem In the Bazaars of Hyderabad by Sarojini Naidu. In the poem, we saw various things in the bazaar. We felt the weight of the bells that were made for the pigeons' feet. It was very light. We could hear the calls of the peddler. We could imagine the taste of the citrus fruits and the smell of the spices. The poet used imagery very well in the poem. The next is hyperbole. It's an exaggerated statement to speak more than what is real, to exaggerate. Like, example, if we are talking about somebody's age, maybe the person is very old, but how we have exaggerated it. She is as old as the hills. My stomach is burning due to hunger. I walked a million miles to get here. All these are examples of exaggeration or hyperbole. Next is oxymoron. It is very interesting. It is the use of two opposite or contradictory terms together in a statement, like sweet sorrow, up down, sweet bitter, bitter sweet, act naturally, small crowd, open secret. Okay, like for example, if we use the word up down, he searched up and down to find his lost cap. You should act naturally in front of the crowd. If you are acting, it cannot be natural. So these are examples of oxymoron. Next, we have refrain and repetition. A refrain refers to the lines which are repeated in a poem or a song. They can also be called the chorus. Like in the poem The Tiger, the lines that were repeated again were Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. In the same way, if we see repetition, the word tiger, tiger is repeating, which means repetition is the words or phrases repeated in a sentence. So, refrain means the chorus or the lines that are repeated in the poem, and repetition refers to the repetition of the words in a statement. The next is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sound at the beginning of two or more words in the same sentence. Okay, example, if we take from the poem The Tiger, could frame thy fearful symmetry. Here, F and F are examples of alliteration. In the same sentence, two times words starting from the same sound are being used. On what wings dare he aspire? What and wings, W and W. He watered and watered heaven with their tears, W and W. Okay, so now we have completed all 11 figures of speech. If you have any doubt, you can ask or watch the video again. We have already given you all the definitions. Write down the definitions in your copy, starting with the definition of figures of speech and all the 11. And then there's a poem in which you can find all the 11 figures of speech. Okay, so all the best. Have a good day. Thank you.